So when the giant YouTuber TechLead uploaded a video on the 24th of February stating that the Ukraine and Russia crisis was good for Bitcoin, it was bizarre to say the least. TechLead had established himself as a variety YouTuber, who ridiculed and even hailed forms of content, including subjects such as Apple, Google, and even the metaverse. In the midst of the following crisis, TechLead decided to tell his million-plus audience that this would be good for crypto. But not only that, he blamed his audience for the current government and catastrophe, stating that the blood was on their hands.
Joe Biden gets elected in by pretty much by you guys, and other countries like China and Russia come in and feel like, you know what, they can take him. And more so, we too must take responsibility and ownership for really what we have done to this world. Now, I did not elect Joe Biden, okay? But you guys out there, the blood is on your hands. I want you to stop pointing fingers at other people saying, is that person's fault, is this person's fault? It is your fault for electing this person who was not able to maintain the peace of the world.
So, not only was that strange, and let's be honest, pretty shitty of him, he went ahead and did, the unthinkable.
Maybe it's their business, maybe they know what they're doing, maybe Russia's even right, I really wouldn't know. So I'm not going to comment on the politics of this, but we can take a look at the financials about Bitcoin and how maybe this is actually good for Bitcoin. Because I believe that cryptocurrency will actually have a massive role in what may become World War III.
TechLead continues to argue that since the incoming sanctions will cripple the ruble, Russia could use cryptocurrency to sustain the economic turmoil, thus boosting the use of cryptocurrency. It is the age-old argument advertised by the military-industrial complex. War is good for money.
Getting around economic sanctions, making crypto one of the most powerful military weapons around any country, is going to want to hold on to cryptocurrency. So I think that this could herald a new era of economic military warfare.
What the hell is actually wrong with you? I genuinely want to know. TechLead, you may consider this virtue signaling or whatever, but there's nothing wrong with showing sympathy for people. With millions fleeing from the country and trauma across the globe, you can only think of one thing. Wow, this is going to be great for Bitcoin. Holy shit, I'm going to make money!
Now as for me, I know nothing about Russia or Ukraine. I mean, come on, I'm American. I don't even know where these countries are. So I'm not going to pretend to understand any of these situations or have context on that.
I like how you say you know nothing about Russia and Ukraine, pleading ignorance, but you still decide to try and blame your audience for it. That's like an investigator saying they don't know anything about the crime, but they know who the murderer is. Also, don't you think, TechLead, that all of these countries haven't thought of this? I'm pretty sure they know that Russia, no matter what, will try to escape these sanctions, leading to countries exposing even tougher sanctions to prevent them from using crypto as a scapegoat. What exactly was going through his mind while making this video? Like, he was thinking, yep, I think this is the one my audience is really going to like. You know what, this entire thing is actually pretty beneficial for me. TechLead, I don't hate you, but I definitely think your morals are incredibly twisted. And no, I don't think this is virtue signaling on my part. I really think it's just being a normal and decent human being. A day later, it got worse, with TechLead uploading a video stating his support for Russia, exclaiming actually an okay point at this time. Until you really think about it, then it's pretty bad. Let me explain myself real quick. On February 25th, Ukraine barred men of ages 18 to 60 from leaving the country and suspending bank withdrawals, forcing men and women to stay and fight in the conflict. It sucks, but in reality that's just how things work and exactly what any country would do in a scenario in which they get invaded. Unlike you, TechLead, I don't think Ukraine deserves to fall because of that. And even more so, I don't use my own tweet as a source of information to create a bullshit-ass argument. He then tries to quote Abraham Lincoln, which is ironic because under his presidency, the US Congress passed what is known today as the draft, and who also tried with everything within his power to preserve the Union so it didn't fall. At the end of February, TechLead made the bold statement that Ukraine should surrender, as he viewed the war as leaning towards Russia's way. He went even as far to state that Russia didn't invade Ukraine, and that Ukraine was militarizing itself by joining NATO, and that in reality, Russia just wanted peace. He then shows a video of Putin to support his claims. Yes, because everything Putin says is 100% factual. Listen, I know that the West isn't innocent as well. We've had our fair share of committed atrocities, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna start taking the word of a dictator. A fan of TechLead said this in the comments. Hey TechLead, I get your points, man, and you know what, it probably is true, but here are 2 points that may or may not relate to you. Number 1, when Facebook took issue with your YouTube channel and threatened to fire you, did you back down? No, you stood strong and left with your pride. Number 2, as a person of Taiwanese heritage, Would you support the surrender of Taiwan's sovereignty to China in the case of a Taiwan invasion, which, depending on the outcome of this Ukraine invasion, may make this a sooner and imminent event? Maybe you don't feel a personal connection to Taiwan, and even find a positive attitude towards the CCP. If that's the case, then fine. TechLead has stated this on Twitter. Why is everyone here so dumb? The IQ is like 2. Remember, I got into Google as a tech lead, not you. It amazes me that you baboons think you can even converse at my level. My brain is functioning 100 times higher than yours. Before talking back, please get into Google first. You're right, tech lead. You know, you're right. I've never been part of Google, I've never been hired, and I guess I'll never be as smart as you. But at least for me, and the majority of the rest of us, at least we have some heart. I'll catch you guys later.